Today we are going to study about the types of cells. There are two types of cells on the basis of presence of nucleus. That means on the basis of different type of nucleus, the cells are of two types. First is prokaryotic cell and second is eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. So all of first prokaryotic. The prokaryotic means pro means primitive and karyon means nucleus. That means primitive nucleus. The cell contains primitive type of nucleus. So now what is prokaryotic cell? Those cells in which nucleus is not bound by nuclear membrane. Is called prokaryotic cells. Or you can say that those cells in which nucleus is present without nuclear membrane. Nucleus without nuclear membrane. So such nucleus in which nuclear membrane is absent is known as false nucleus or incipient nucleus. So in the prokaryotic cell, true cell organelles are absent. True cell organelles are also absent. The true cell organelles, such cell organelles which are bound by membrane. That means membrane bound cell organelles. So these membrane bound cell organelles are absent in the prokaryotic cell except ribosome. Except ribosomes. Because ribosomes are not bound by membrane. So in this way, we can say the prokaryotic cell in which the well-defined nucleus is absent or nucleus is present without nuclear membrane and true cell organelles are absent, such as bacteria, blue-green algae, or you can say the cyanobacteria, mycoplasma, This is a diagram of a bacterium, a bacterial cell, and bacteria is the example of prokaryotic cell. This is the cell wall. This is plasma membrane, and inside the plasma membrane the fluid is the cytoplasm, and plasma membrane forms some folded structures, and these folded structures is known as mesosome. In the center, a single DNA molecule is present, and this DNA is loosely arranged, and this is the genetic material or genome of the bacteria. And this part is called the nucleoid, and this nucleoid contains the single loosely arranged DNA. Besides this DNA, a small circular DNA is also present, and this is called plasmid. And plasmid also regulates and controls some characters such as resistance to antibiotics. And this plasmid is also nowadays used in some recombinant DNA technology and in genetic engineering in some techniques as a vector. Now, the mesosomes are present as tubules, vesicles, lamellae. And mesosomes help in cell wall formation, DNA replication, etc. And also help in some distribution of the daughter cells and respiration, secretion, increase the surface area of the plasma membrane. Bacteria or the prokaryotic cell are motile or some are non-motile. So those have flagella. Those have flagella or flagellum, they can move. And those have no flagella, they can't move. Most prokaryotic cells or bacteria is covered by a complex cell envelope. Complex cell envelope. And this cell envelope is made up of 3 layers. The first layer, glycocalyx. Second is cell wall. And third is plasma membrane. Glycocalyx are of 2 types. Some are loosely remain or loose sheath-like, known as slime layer. But some is thick and tough, known as capsule. But these three act as a protective unit. In some bacteria, beside the flagella, pili and fimbriae are also present. Pili is the tube-like structures and fimbriae is the hair or bristle-like structures and help in attachment with the other bacteria or with the substratum, etc. The bacterial cell envelope is of two types. One can take up the gram stain. So according to this, which can take up or which cannot take up, the bacteria is of two types. Gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. The bacteria in which cell envelopes can able to take up gram stain, known as gram positive bacteria, and those bacteria in which the cell envelope do not take up the gram stain, known as gram negative bacteria. Second type, eukaryotic cell, means Eu is the good or well and karyon nucleus. That means well defined nucleus or good nucleus. Those cells in which nucleus is present with nuclear membrane, known as eukaryotic cell. That means those cells in which well-defined nucleus is there. Well-defined, that means nucleus is bound by nuclear membrane. That is the true nucleus. True nucleus is present, and such cells are known as prokaryotic cells. In the prokaryotic cells, two cell organelles are present. That means all the cell organelles in which are bound by membrane present in eukaryotic cells. Example, plant cell, animal cell, and green algae. This is cell wall. This is plasma membrane. Cytoplasm. Nucleus and nucleolus, vacuole, plasm, chloroplast, or you can say the plastids also, and mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, ribosome. So this is the structure of a plant cell.